this meeting, we go through the numbers of deals, real estate math, and look at all types of opportunities. Sometimes we just workshop a deal and talk about strategy. Other times we really dive into numbers. It's kind of a free-flowing meeting. You guys get to put forward anything that you're looking at, and then if we don't have any sample projects that somebody's working on, then we can look at an example and go through maybe some tips, tricks, or pointers that I might have for analyzing deals. So we always start every meeting with introductions. So as you guys know, I am Zach Smith with Seton Funds. So we are a private equity fund based in Eugene. We do private and hard money lending. So I do all types of short-term loans for real estate investors. We do anything from quick little loans on residential properties up to, ground up construction for large commercial projects. And I am super happy to be a member of this group. This is an awesome group, and I'm really happy to be a part of it with Grace. So, and then how about the next intro? I'll pitch it over to you, Grace.
Okay, cool. I'm Grace Whitacomb. I own Oregon Real Estate Investors Association. I started this years ago because I felt like an underdog in the real estate investment arena here in Eugene, and I'm meeting people, and I learned about RIAs in about 2010, so now it's 2022, and so I started this group, and I think that the most important thing about this group is that together we're better. We totally believe it. We totally believe that together we're better, and we share information, knowledge, and whatever have you. I also I flip houses a lot. So another motto has been making neighborhoods great again, because when you flip a house, the neighbors start painting their house and fixing their house up too, kind of thing. So it's pretty cool. And I think that deal deep dive is very important for real estate investors to understand. There is way more ways to cut a deal than one. There's way more ways to cut a deal than one. I'm repeating that because there's creative financing, there's all sorts of ways to figure out a deal. And if you're talking to a seller, because I'm usually talking to a seller, and trying to come up with a way that meets all their criteria, and usually it's not just like cash, I just need cash, or I just need this high number. It's like, I need to move. I need to move after I sell it. I need to stay there in the house for a little while. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff that has to help the seller get to their destination. So I think of it as a destination kind of journey when I'm buying a house and to fix it up and flip it, kind of thing. So yeah, and that one guy that you were talking about, that was one of those kind of deals where I was trying to fix her situation, and I sent it through to Western Title to do the title search, and they didn't come up with that $237,000 lawsuit against her. And so I was, ready to purchase it at $100,000 and sell it at $135,000. That's what you would have bought. But it didn't work out because there was.
Excuse you. You don't slam the door like that. Get out of the car.
Kelsey, I think your mic is on.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you, Zach. I'm like, who's that? All right, I'm done. I'm Grace Whitacomb, Grateful Nets Homes, Oregon Real Estate Investors Association, Oregon House Flippers, and like 2 more businesses as well. All right, passing it on back to you, Zach.
All right, next up, how about we go to, well, it looks like Guy left for a bit, maybe. How about Todd? about a quick intro? Or maybe you're getting out of your car. We'll wait on Todd. How about Jared?
Yeah, thank you. Hey, so like I said, I took a detour from my family in the other room so I could do this part of it. So I am the only thing I've really done for investing is an accidental landlord. As far as moving out of my primary residences. But what I'm really looking for is flips and buy and holds and burrs and those kinds of things. I would love to partner with somebody that's done some or working on some in the future to kind of get my feet wet. I work a ton at my day job. I can provide some labor a little bit. I've done a lot of remodel work on my house. I have some finances available to do some deals, but the time and the deal flow, I don't have any of that. Minimal time, and this is actually a vacation day, which is why I'm on today. I feel bad because I keep signing up for these, and then I've missed a couple because something comes up with work. So not trying to dodge you guys. I know, Grace, I've talked to you a couple times, but yeah, not trying to dodge on these, but time is the thing that I don't have a ton of, but definitely looking to network and get involved in some more deals locally.
Nice. Nice to meet you, Jared.
Absolutely.
And how about Mike?
Hey, Mike Redzian, originally from Chicago, and I am a real estate investor. I have long-term rentals. I have a very, very robust Airbnb that's doing between 55 and 60K a year. And also I've been selected by Airbnb as to be an independent contractor. I am an Airbnb Superhost ambassador. And when somebody's sitting at their computer and they click on, I want to host my property, some algorithm connects that person with one of, I think there's about 300 of us in the world. And we help new people fill out their page, answer their questions, and get them to their first booking. And
So you to get out of the car because
hello?
I'm not leaving.
Chelsea, your mic's on again.
Oh, Chelsea.
Out of the car.
I can't even get my homework done, so there's no point in being home.
Okay. As of 5 o'clock today, I have 476 new hosts I'm working with. Now, human nature, about 60% of that, these are people that click one time, kind of thinking something. But of the ones that will actively move through the system, that little side gig is at a run rate of about 35,000 a year. And sometimes I don't even talk to people. I just get a notice they were connected. Then I get a notice they filled out their page. They get a notice they got a booking. And next thing I know, oh, here's your commission.
That's awesome. Every time I hear you talk about that, it just blows me away.
It is the highest value for the least amount of work I've ever had in my life.
Nice. Well, good to see you again, Mike. And how about Todd?
Hi, my name's Todd. I'm new to this class for my first time. I live up in north of Portland in Scappoose. I have had one investment property. It was a long-term house down in Havasu. And then we sold that, and I've always wanted to put more time into this. I currently work as a fireman and have a young family, so I'm pretty busy myself. I'm building a big shop right now, so I'm filthy from that. So I am looking to network. I'm looking to figure out. I've been studying a lot about Airbnb, and I was fascinated by the last story I just heard. That was amazing. I didn't know that existed, but I've been thinking about short-term rentals. I've been thinking about maybe buying an apartment building, but I'm also looking for different opportunities, more creative things, and I'm really trying to figure out how to begin that business, because that's essentially what it would be, is starting a business where I believe you market to people to find opportunities, and I don't know how to do that yet. So I'm really curious to hear how other people are working that way, and you know, yeah, maybe I would want my hand held too.
Yeah.
But let me jump in. What I left off at the end is anybody in area, anybody's interested in doing an Airbnb. I have like an official link. I can email you. You click on the link. We're officially connected, and then I will help you start to finish. But then I get compensated for it.
Excellent. I got to find one first.
Well, Todd, it's great to meet you. Thanks for joining all the way from Scappoose.
Yep.
And how about next up, we'll go to Guy.
There we go. There we go. Hey, Mike, I'm interested, man. I want that link. So my name's Guy Dent. I'm fairly new to the group. Went to one other meeting. It's fantastic. Met some great people. So Todd, you're in a great place to make those connections from what I'm understanding so far. Even last time I met a great gentleman that he said, well, let me put you on the list because I get opportunities to come buy houses and such. And, you know, I know that there's people and I'll even speak for myself, but I know I'm speaking for others too, that would love to also be partners. I really think that they would, because there's plenty of good people here, some good money opportunities. If not, there's people like Zach that can help you out that way, but there's other people that I'm sure would go into a partnership too. And such. So, and I'm sure everybody's probably going, oh, why do you say that, Guy? Because I wanted to get a hold of them myself. So I that's what my impression is. There's some good people here and some good knowledge. Myself, I flipped a couple houses. A lot of mine have been flipping holds. And, you know, I've been a landlord for, 15 plus years. And so that changes too. So, and I've got all different kinds of things going, but not very successful in some areas. I wish I had a lot of deals. I could say I've gotten a lot of deals, and I haven't, but I've done different kinds. And so, and looking for more investment opportunities too. I don't have a ton of capital, but I've got a little bit. So I'm even looking at one of my houses selling because I've got some great ideas from other investments and in other areas. So leads in some different businesses. So I'm looking always for other like-minded people that are entrepreneurs and with real estate, get other ideas, bouncing off of them. It sounds like I really want to talk to Mike and find out some more about short-term rentals. I really think there's going to be a lot going there with all the struggles that us landlords have been facing with all these rules and regulations, especially in like Oregon, Washington, California. And there's other opportunities. I spoke to a gal that I'm using as a realtor now that I got rid of my old realtor, full of these ideas too, of ways to not have to be so stuck on with landlord tenant laws. So that's kind of me. I'm interested in any kind of business, any kind of opportunities. And I really came to this group to rub elbows and learn a lot and learn from other people, share information and meet good people like-minded. And instead of being out talking to anybody else about anything else that nobody has interest in. And anyway, that's me. So glad to meet everybody. And thanks,
to meet
Zach,
you,
for
Guy.
the time to talk.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to say thank you for the commercial, Guy. Very good.
Yeah. And how about William?
Hi, I'm William. I'm still, I don't know if you can really see me, it's probably my lighting. I'm still fairly new to the group. I mean, the main reason why I joined was because I read about this group out of a book that I was reading, and said it was a great place to network and meet people and learn about real estate investing. I'm currently a manager of 2 gyms, one in Eugene and one in Cottage Grove. So I bounce around to those 2 locations.
Which gym?
Anytime Fitness. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm currently studying long-term rentals and fix and flipping right now. So I have like a mentor, but also, coming to this group, I'm here to learn as well. And I think that's about it for me.
Good to see you again.
See you. Yeah.
How about Chris?
Hey y'all, I'm Chris, been here for 5 or 6 months within the group here. I am a relatively new investor locally, but I've been the landlord for 12 years. Got a couple long-term rentals, just finished one up. Just had tenants move in this weekend. Do some contracting work, do a lot of value add stuff. Have an MBA background in some finance, so I enjoy the spreadsheet side of things. I'm working on my own kitchen remodel at the moment, and yeah, trying to figure out looking at some new deals, trying to figure out what's next, and here to learn, here to share, here to do what I can.
Nice, good to see you again. And then last but not least, Chelsea.
Hi guys, so sorry about my teenage daughter. They're great. Okay, so I am new to this group. I just officially registered for the group this last week, but I've been to a meeting before. And so I joined the association as I have a mentor. I have a year-long program that I bought into, real estate investing program, and they provide me with a mentor for that year. And so I learn all kinds of things. I take classes and so forth. And so I was told to join my local REI group because I would learn a lot. And I have, like, this last time that I was on, I was like writing notes like crazy, and it's so much fun. I do not have a day job, so this is my full focus, my full business. I just signed on with some attorneys to set up multiple LLCs, S Corps, C Corps, that kind of a thing. Just depending on if I'm going to do wholesales or buy and holds or BRRRRs. I am learning the process on all of those. And I keep rewatching the classes that I've been in. And there's a couple of them that I have not seen yet. So I'm excited to learn all of that. I am looking for a partner. I do have a private investor and lending group of 3,000 women that I have access to. So when I do get up and get rolling, my business LLCs and so forth will not be set up. My entities will not be set up until a couple of weeks from now. But when they do and are up, I am really looking for somebody to partner with, because I do have such a large network of investors. And eventually I want to go nationwide. So these are all of my goals. And if anybody who's seasoned would like to partner with me so I can learn and figure out, and then I come with that group of investors that I have backing for. So yeah, I love this. I absolutely love what you guys have put together, and I'm looking forward to learning a whole bunch more. So thank you so much for having me on the group. And again, I apologize for my situation earlier.
Good to meet you, Chelsea.
Thank you.
Well, so now that we all met each other, now is our opportunity. If anybody has a deal that they're looking at, that they're working on, that they want to dive into the numbers on, that they want to analyze, that they want to talk about, I open the floor to anybody who wants to bring a deal forward to do a deep dive on.
I mean, I've got one that I'm looking at.
Great.
I don't necessarily want to go first, but
Hey, Chelsea, can you mute yourself again? Thank you.
yeah, I've got one that I've been doing a little bit of analysis on, but don't want to, again, don't necessarily want to go first. It's something that just taking a first pass at.
Okay, anybody else want to go first? Grace, you got anything?
Yeah, I always have a deal going on, always.
I know you do.
Yeah, I know. I always have a deal going on, and I've been putting the brakes on this one, so I'm going to tell a little bit of a story. And but Zach, I'm sure you have a better deal and analysis. Okay, so this is a manufactured, you know about this one because you said you can't land on it. Manufactured home flip in Lake Ridge, Eugene. That's the mobile manufactured home park. And so it's on, doesn't have land and has a lease of land of $742 per month land. It's a really nice park. But what I want to tell
Is
about
that
is,
the one that's North Delta?
yes, it is. It's north of Home Depot on North Delta. Yeah, really nice park. The woman who is selling the house to me saw my vehicle, and finally my signage paid off, sort of thing. She saw my vehicle in the church parking lot at First Baptist Church and called me. And we've been working on this for like a month. She's been catfished. Anybody know what that means?
Oh, tell us.
Catfish. She's being catfished. She's 78 years old. A guy is scamming her and getting her to sell her house and send the money to him, basically. She has already sent him $100,000 and she still thinks he's going to come and marry her.
Yeah, my sister got catfished out of some money too. So I know it. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah, the scamming thing is a big deal. And so
I know that guy. He's a Nigerian prince.
the Nigerian prince, he's in Africa. You're right. I contacted Doug Mozan. For any of you that know Doug Mozan, he's a captain on the Eugene Police Force, and he got DHS, elderly abuse, kind of victim abuse kind of thing on this. And they came. She came, the Lisa, the caseworker, she came and talked to her, got her to change her bank account because the guy is obviously scamming her. But she, at age 78, wants to believe in love. And so she's back into the marriage proposal thing and selling me the house. And so I like, when she came back to me, because I was going to buy it for 143, and then when she came back to me after DHS intervened, I said, okay, now my new buying price is 133, and she didn't like that. And I said, okay, as long as you're not sending him a copy of the sales agreement, I'll buy it at 138. It's worth $189,000 basically, as is, but I'm going to like fix up the kitchen, paint the oak cupboards and put a new countertop on it, and it will sell for 189 easily. But so in real estate is pretty complex, and there's a lot of sharks out there, and you got to watch for them. And I know a lot of you know all this kind of stuff. So she is being catfished, and I'm telling her red flags, red flags. I got somebody involved. I'm calling my friend on the police force. They're going to intervene, all this kind of stuff. And she's still going to sell it to me because she believes this guy that she's met on a dating app is actually going to come and marry her.
Horrible.
Pretty sad. Okay, so that's my story, and I'm actually going to buy it, but I'm like a week out in actually doing that because I don't need to give you the numbers or anything on this one. I know it's not a deal analysis, but it's just a story.
Pretty simple.
It's a story.
You're good.
All right.
Let's go to Chris's deal.
Okay, so let's see. I guess I can share screen. Let's just pull up the right one here. Share. Let's see if I can share this window. All right, you all see that?
Yep.
Okay, so it's a house. It's on the MLS. It's been on the MLS for over a month now. It is on, it's over in College Hill, so it's just about a few blocks from where I live, and it is currently a duplex. it's hard to tell here, but they're actually two separate buildings that have 2 units each, but it seems like the person who owns it has been starting to split off the upstairs and downstairs of each unit to create possibly 2 more units, at least 1, maybe 2 more units to make it into a 4-plex. So as of right now, it's still up for sale. I'm trying to figure out my financing to see if I could actually pull it off and then go approach the people about it. But it's got some really cool stuff in it. I don't need to necessarily walk through all the details, but essentially it's over 3. It could be a 30. It could be essentially 2 2-bedroom, 1-bath units up top, and then 2 1-bedroom, 1-bath units on bottom, possibly even larger. And I just want to go find the pictures. So I like value add properties. That's what I love doing, coming in and finding, okay, so here's where we start. So somebody has, yeah, Grace, you're muted.
Yeah, I was thinking that all looks too perfect. It was already done, and then you got
Yeah. That's
right?
one of the upstairs units that's in great
Yeah.
shape. I think the top 2 units are rented, and then you get to part of the bottom where they're doing. It seems like they've started construction.
Wow.
And stopped for reasons I don't know. But to me, this is kind of right in my wheelhouse, where I can come in and swoop in and finish off the remodel. And if it can go from 2 units to 4 units, it has some potential. So, okay, so now you can see the spreadsheet.
I like it.
Okay, it's a lot, so I'll just walk through this kind of my deal analysis spreadsheet. So property information, here we are. We've got purchase price of $595. The fix-up costs here is probably the number I'm the least convinced about, since I haven't been in the property to see it. So that one's still tough to talk through. Its tax value is only at 260, even though it's a duplex, which seems a little bit low. The ARV, sorry, what'd you say, Grace?
Oh, the tax value is way low. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's on the record though via
Yeah.
prop stream. So I don't know what to say about that. But and it's owned by somebody down in California. So I'm wondering if there's something else going on behind it. But my ARV is not based on comps necessarily. If I could get this to be a 4 unit, I'm just basing this, and somebody could probably poke holes in this analysis, but I'm essentially basing that off of a cap the cash flow and NOI and a cap rate of 7%, which is probably 7% is probably high for the neighborhood and for its condition, but I'm trying to be conservative in my numbers.
So Zach is the smart one here tonight, but I'm just wondering, because it's a duplex, right? Not 4 units, and you're figuring it can be made into 4 units, although you haven't seen it. Is that what you're saying, Chris?
Yeah. It seems like that garage could be converted, and another unit would be another. It could be a potentially 4 900, roughly 900 square foot units.
Wow.
Have you talked to the city?
About whether this can be a 4 unit.
Yeah, because I mean, they're updating their zoning, so R1 should allow multifamily, and I think I saw it's on a corner lot, right?
Yeah, it's on a corner. It's already zoned as a duplex, so it's already
Right.
So I don't think it would be much of an issue to upzone, or I mean, it's already zoned multifamily, but
Well, yeah, it's a cornerplex corner duplex in R1 zoning, which historically was single family. Corner lots could be duplexes, but now with the new code changes,
right, with the new code changes, it seems like there's more flexibility there.
Yeah.
Middle housing.
Yep.
Yeah. So
I would encourage you to in your valuation avoid using the cap rate method unless
Mhm.
you get up to 5+ commercial units.
Okay.
Usually I would use more of like a gross rent multiplier for anything 1 to 4 units.
Okay.
I don't think your valuation is very far off though.
Yeah.
Well, so, I mean, if you're getting gross rents of 73,000 on a year on those 4 units based on, or 70,000 based on what
Yeah.
you're, and you put a really conservative,
Mhm.
10 to 12 gross rent multiplier on that, you get your value.
Yeah, it seems, yeah, I haven't done much in cap rate valuation, but I was looking around it seemed like this would be roughly in the ballpark, but that's a good idea on the 1 to 4 unit using the gross rent multiplier.
Well, and the reason I say that is that your methodology and your appraisal that you're going to get eventually
Mhm.
is going to be using primarily sales comparables and a different type of cash flow analysis than you would on a commercial appraisal, like you would with 5+ units. They're probably not going to use the cap rate in their methods. So you should try and mirror what the appraiser is going to do.
Yeah. Okay.
And the appraiser is going to look at other fourplexes, like maybe Grace's fourplex or,
There aren't a
or
lot
other
of,
properties like that.
yeah, there aren't a lot in this part of town. I was
No.
trying to look for comps yesterday, and there's struggling to find anything. It's mostly because it's this part of town.
How many square feet would each unit be?
Roughly 900.
Okay, that's pretty good size.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's good size. So if we could get a 2-1 out of each of those, that'd be fantastic.
Does it have 2 separate, water meters or any of that, or is it?
That's still a question.
Yeah.
I imagine because it's duplex, it's probably got 2 separate water meters.
Yeah.
So each building might have their own, but it may need to work through that, and and electric meters and that kind of thing. But those are solvable problems. But
Yes. It just might add to your
right.
fix up costs if you have to
Yeah.
put in electrical meters for every unit.
Yeah. I mean, the basic numbers here, if I were to do it, probably would go with the hard money lending to, although the first, I think the top 2 units are occupied. And then I would have I'm just estimating a 3-month carrying cost on that interest only loan at 11%. So that's going to cost me 16,000, plus the down payment of 60, fix up costs and fees, total cash outlay roughly of 140. Obviously that can go a long different ways. The numbers I'm fairly confident are conservative, are the rents, given the location and units that are high quality. I think that those rents could probably go up from there. I probably would self-manage at least to start, but I want to keep some figure in there, and then refinance out of it when those bottom 2 units are finished and rented out, either with a traditional investment loan or the all-in-one with Borrow Smart, which I just closed. We have our other property with our all-in-one loan that's already doing really well.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm liking that system a lot. So if I refi there, that's only at 70%. So I'd have to leave $20,000 in the deal. So it would cost me and a partner about 120 to get done. But even at that rate, it would be cash flowing, 1,500 plus a month, plus property management fee if I hold on to that. And then, yeah, I mean, you could flip it at the end if I wanted to. That would be kind of a backup plan, but the plan would be to hold. If you're pulling in 1,500 a month on that, that's something you want to hold for a while. And it's something that'll appreciate well in the neighborhood.
Question about your carrying length with the hard money loan. So 3 months. So how do you envision that timeline going down so
Well,
quick?
so it's I actually think it would be closer 4 to 6 months, but I'm cutting that in half because the top 2 units are rented. So I would be bringing in some income anyway. So I didn't, if it were totally vacant, I would set it at 6 months and have that carrying cost be a bit higher. But since it's already partially occupied, and you'd be, bringing in that rental, I figured I'd cut that in half, just as a rough way to balance
Yeah.
those two things out.
Is your qualification for the all-in-one loan product, is it reliant on the cash flow of the property?
It's relying on the appraisal. So
Okay, so
yeah.
they could go off of projected future rents in an appraisal?
Well, I want to get it rented out. I would
Okay.
want to get the occupied with, long-term lease in place and be able to show that before going through that process.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's the appraisal on the back end would be something to think through a bit more.
yeah. I always recommend people, I know that you think you're gonna get it done in 3 months, but I always tell people it's gonna take you twice as long.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
do.
Right.
Also with
because-
your fix-up costs, so 50,000.
I'm not
Yeah.
100% confident in that. But if it's all interior work, that's maybe kitchen, bathroom, but no structural, everything else seems to be in pretty good shape. Exterior is nice.
Yeah.
Can I interject here?
Yes.
Chris, I have a couple things to say. Okay, first of all, you said it's on the MLS, is that right?
Yep.
And you're looking at it. Have you been there?
Nope. That's what I was trying to
So you did all this spreadsheet work without actually seeing it?
I've got the spreadsheet. This is just my standard template, so it's not too hard to figure it through. But yeah, I'm working through my own financing side of it, and then we'll reach out. And
do you do this kind of spreadsheet work before you normally go and see a property?
Yes, because I'm not a realtor, and it takes, it's putting several other people out a bit for me to just go take a look at it if I don't have a decent handle on at least, could this have a lot of potential for me?
Okay, for those of you who don't know Chris, he's brilliant at what he does. And so I'm just asking Chris these questions because I want to learn more from Chris about that kind of stuff. He's really good at fixing up houses and making them into his personal property of rentals, right, Chris? Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like some things up.
Yeah.
I like the value add side, but
yeah. So I just want to, okay, so that was one thing. And the second thing is I used to be the president of Northwest RIA, which is Portland area, which had hundreds of people. And we had lots of meetings and that kind of stuff. And I would just say, like, if you're doing a deal analysis, don't let everybody see the address and that kind of stuff like that if you don't have it tied down, if you're really interested in it. Because, somebody in this group might be like, oh, this is a great idea. I think I'll compete. But so I'm guessing that's not going to happen tonight, but in Portland, it would have happened. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Come work with me on it. We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Partner.
Yeah, I love this spreadsheet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, Chris, I just bought it. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I would definitely like to learn how to do the spreadsheet. So if you've got any pointers or whatever that you can shoot me over in a private DM, that would be awesome.
Sure. I mean, so I'm happy. It's just a spreadsheet. It's fairly straightforward once you know what everything is. And I'm always kind of tweaking it and improving it, but I'm happy to send it out, send a blank copy of it out. Just as a way of, again, organizing your thoughts, and yeah, happy to do that.
Thanks.
So, yeah.
So
Anyway,
your
go ahead.
expenses. So you've just got property management and maintenance.
Mhm.
Um, you have property taxes somewhere on here?
Taxes are down in,
Down there,
they're
taxes. and
down in the
insurance.
refinance section.
Got it.
Taxes, insurance are there. Management and maintenance are here.
Do you have a vacancy loss? Okay, there. Okay, there
Yeah,
it is.
4%.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, and then I spit out kind of my year one returns. You know, essentially loan pay down, assumption of 3% appreciation, the cash flow that would be coming in, the interest write-off based on a tax bracket. I didn't put depreciation in here because there are just too many variables for it to translate one property to the other, but maybe as I get more sophisticated, I can then start including that as well. But yeah, so if I were to do a flip, you know, flip it at this value, you know, 71K, pretty decent return for only 3 months worth of work, right?
Right.
But yeah, as a rental, obviously it's hard, the hard money is just going to be short term. So the real options are either the flip or the burr. And I'd love to hold on to long term because of the location, and you know, it's in good shape, and if it can cash flow like that, I want to hold on to that forever. But like I said, trying to figure out my own financing side of it. So if anybody has $140,757 laying around, let me know. And yeah, that's what I've got. So
It's a super interesting deal. I love your spreadsheet, just like Chelsea said. So Grace, kind of to piggyback on what you were asking him about, I always recommend people get a grasp of the numbers prior to looking at the property. It might seem like a lot of homework to do, and you just show up and the deal blows up because the property sucks anyways. But showing up to a property and going through it, and maybe using a lender's time or using your realtor's time or using the seller's time or the seller's realtor's time and touring the property before you've got a good handle on the numbers. I feel like you're kind of putting the cart before the horse a little bit sometimes.
Okay, I'm gonna go on this conversation here because it used to be, you know, 1 month ago, you were outbidding other people and doing the cart before the horse kind of thing.
Yeah,
But right now, things are changing just a bit where you might actually have time to do the numbers before you go.
yeah,
But it wasn't like that a month ago or 2 months ago. Yeah.
You know, homes at 595,000 are sitting right now.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I bet if this was a single family flip priced at 295, he wouldn't even had time to.
No.
Oh
no.
no.
And
No,
and the address is like you're saying, Chris, the address is Golden.
Yep.
College Hill, it's Golden. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like thinking if I wasn't buying that house in Lake Ridge, I would have that $140,000 to, you know, go in partnership with you on it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Grace, to your point, or to what Zach was saying. Like, I agree that, you know, a month ago or earlier in the summer, it just wouldn't have time to do this, you know, unless it was like day one that it had just posted. You know, you might have a weekend to think through things. For me, I like doing the numbers. That comes naturally to me. And I get emotionally invested in a property real quick, and I don't want to go down that road too far before seeing if something, you know, has a chance to pencil out.
I'm in that same boat. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, if I had my real estate license, if I could just call up the realtor and go over and look at it myself, that might change the approach. But you know, for me, is I got to call somebody I know that, and I don't want to waste their time. And so there's a hurdle there to get out to see it. And I know that, again, this has been sitting for over a month. So I'm not necessarily like looking over my shoulder like, hey, is somebody going to snatch this up tomorrow in the same way I would have a few months ago.
I think there might be a reason that it's been sitting for a month.
Right. I'm sure. Yeah. And that's,
And one of the things is I would bet my money that your 50,000 is underestimated.
yeah.
I'd also bet that if somebody is expecting for if they're trying to flip it, a quick and easy sale of a fourplex priced at 800,000 in Eugene, even though it is College Hill, like that's just going to take some time.
Yeah.
You're especially in this market, so your length of time with that hard money loan could be not only longer during the rehab, but longer in the selling phase.
Yeah. Well, goal is not to sell. I mean,
Yeah.
That's backup. That's plan B. Goal would be to hold long term.
Yeah. But just saying as a flip, it doesn't pencil for those investors. That's why I'm saying it's been sitting.
Yeah.
And then I think maybe their price is a bit too high. Just because, I mean, if those fix up costs easily balloons, to 75K, all of a sudden you've got 670,000 just in the purchase and rehab before your financing costs. You've got those holding costs that you've calculated there, carrying costs of just for the 3-month period of 16,000. Let's say that took twice as long. You've got holding costs of at least 30, so now you're at 700,000. You're left with basically being into it. If it ends up being worth 795, you're into it 700 out of 795. You've only got about 10% equity there. That's not bad, but it's difficult to pull your money out.
Right.
It's definitely a long-term investment. There's no cash out refi, take it to the next one deal. This is like hunker down and hold it long term. My cash is in. So especially in this market.
Yeah, those are the questions that are keeping me up at night, but they're definitely the next ones to answer once I figure out, okay, where am I pulling the down payment? Where am I getting that money from? And then
A quick comment. On those lines, I mean, I bet they've already seen offers of 450,000 to give you the idea, because those investors like that saw that as a big opportunity says, okay, well, I'll buy it for 450. They've probably seen that and already turned them down.
In your analysis, are you planning on covering the rehab out of pocket? Is that what I'm assuming?
In this, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we could roll that into the hard money loan, and that's what I did for the property and friendly. So holding costs would be a little bit higher, and it depends on on the loan structure. I don't know what, if I came to Seton Funds with a deal like this, you would probably want. Do you do as low as 10%, or do you?
So we do as low as 10% of the project costs, so combined purchase and rehab. So in this situation, if these numbers panned out and you were at 645 and combined purchase and rehab, your minimum down would be 64,500.
Yeah.
And then most likely you'd need to cover loan fees and closing costs, things like that. And typically with a renovation budget over 25 to 30,000 on a project this size, we would usually do a rehab holdback. So a credit line to cover the rehab, and then the rest of the loan would go toward the purchase. I say usually because that kind of depends on who we're working with and how many deals you've done and your track record and stuff. We kind of offer some flexibility on that. Sometimes I advance 100% of the loan up front and let people cover the rehab themselves. It just kind of depends on the situation, but most of the time, first loan with us, we cover the rehab. And kind of the rationale is that we you know, we want to make sure that money's going into the property. We want to make sure we have enough money set aside to fix it up if something were to happen to you.
Yeah.
So on and so on. So
Yeah, that's you're reducing your risk as it's, you know, especially at the beginning when it's not sellable. You can't
Right.
just turn around and sell it. Once it gets closer, then your risk is less. Yeah, and that was the same thing that happened with the Van Buren property. They did the loan holdback and paid out over time. Did a few draws for the construction side.
So if you don't mind sharing, I don't remember what lender did you use on that one?
That was direct portfolio lending.
Oh, that's right.
Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle.
Yeah.
Right. Nice.
Yeah, that went fairly smoothly. So
What was their draw process like? Just to share with
they
everyone.
went through a company called Land Gorilla. Or not, yeah, Land Gorilla. They outsourced it.
So that process of construction draws, so would you submit, you know, a detailed line item list of work
Yeah.
completed?
Yeah,
Right.
so that's
then-
exactly. So we had the budget, and I would, you know, do draws as a percentage of completion based on the different phases of construction, and then they would, you know, I'd send some photos, receipts if I needed to, at least for the big ticket items, and then they would send somebody out to just do a quick walkthrough, take some pictures just to verify.
Yep. And then how quickly do they disperse funds?
Oh, it would be within a day or two after.
Via wire transfer or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's good information for people to know, because I can't tell you how many times I answer questions about what is the draw process like?
Yeah.
And that's
Is it
exactly,
similar to what you guys do.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The only difference is that we don't outsource it. I do it also.
Oh wow.
And then
Okay.
if we need to look at the property, I drive there. So
Okay. Yeah, direct portfolio. He's a local branch, but based out of Philly, I think.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Okay,
the one.
I want to interject here, you guys. I know you're having this love fest going on, but I redirect here.
Yeah.
We got like 2 minutes left, and if you can't do it tonight, maybe next time, Zach, tell us the difference between, because you said to Chris, I wouldn't use the cap rate, I would use the gross rent multiplier on this. And so I want to know what that means and for everyone else and me, because I've never used the gross rent multiplier. That's like a realtor's kind of thing, and it's not my wheelhouse, and I've only used the cap rate. And so I think we have like 1 minute left, if that. But
well, the gross rent multiplier is really just, in Chris's analysis, a way to like really quickly get a grasp of value. And that's why realtors use it a lot. It's really, I mean, you're just looking at what other sale comparables of residential 1 to 4 unit properties have sold for. You look at their gross annual rents.
okay, so you're like, so they're multifamily and they're getting rents, or there may be duplexes or that kind of thing, and they're getting rents. And how do you get that information?
So you could talk to a local broker. You could look at comparable sales of duplexes and say,
Okay.
you know, you could look at listings and say, you know, see in the listing that, oh, this duplex, it says gross is $2,600 a month, and it's sold for, you know, 520,000 or something like that. You can calculate that multiplier.
What is that? How
on-
do you multiply?
So if it was grossing 2,600 a month, so that's 31,200 annually. And let's say it sold for $500,000. So 500,000 divided by $31,000 is a gross rent multiplier of 16. And then you can look at very comparable duplexes. And that's just a really quick way to look at comparable duplexes and say, well, it should be about 16 times the gross rents is what it should sell for.
Okay, now I'm going to go somewhere else with this question. This is a Brad Anderson and Grace Whitacomb thing going on, that we talk about cap rates and the rate of interest that's going on right now. So like interest rates are going up to borrow money. So Brad Anderson and I agree that the cap rate needs to be more than the interest rate in order to get pencil. What do you think about that, Zach?
Yeah, so they call it, there's lots of names for it, negative capitalization market. Basically, when the cap rate is lower than the interest rate,
Doesn't work.
it doesn't work. And
Yeah.
what the cap rate is, for folks that don't know, is really it only applies to 5 or more unit commercial properties, or any other type of commercial asset. And it's saying, basically based on the purchase price, how much of that are you getting back each year? I try and simplify it for people. Like if you were to buy that property with cash, what would be your rate of return on an annualized basis? That's the cap rate. How long would it take you to make your money back? So if it's a 5% cap rate, you get 5% of your investment back. Now, if cap rate is lower than the interest rate, then if the cap rate, if you're getting a 5% return on the money, but you're borrowing it at 6, 7, 8%, you're losing money. Like it's no longer an advantage to have debt.
Exactly.
It's a disadvantage. The debt is actually trashing your return. Whereas when it's flipped, like it was when rates were low, you could actually use leverage and use debt to improve your rate of return, because the cap rate was higher than how much you were paying on the interest. So that's where Brad is saying that cap rates need to be higher. And we see that all the time with multifamily properties.
Yeah.
You can pencil it out. And what's interesting on commercial properties too, is that the financing is directly tied to the cash flow of the property. So lenders are going to require that the net operating income of a commercial property is 25 to 35% higher than its annual debt service. So if the interest rates go up, the amount that you can borrow on that property starts shrinking really quick. So we're seeing in commercial properties like all across Portland, I mean, investors, most of them for like large multifamily properties are going to have the money to do it because they're like big hedge funds or something. But investors are going to have to come in with, 50, 60% down payments when these interest rates rise and the cap rates remain low and the property values are so inflated. There's got to be a big correction in values.
Zach, you were talking about like 3 different newsletter articles right there.
Yeah.
You were like way beyond what we can understand in this like 2-minute session.
Sorry,
you were, yeah. And I want to thank Chris for his spreadsheet and all that kind of, and going through that. And I'm sorry to take over, but I just want to say, Zach, if you ever want to write an article about gross rent multiplier versus cap rate and keep it in that narrow thing, okay?
Yeah.
I put it in my newsletter, okay?
Absolutely.
All right.
Now,
Yeah.
caveat about the gross rent multiplier. I don't recommend that that's how you figure out how much you're going to pay for a property necessarily. It's just a quick snapshot.
It's a quick snapshot, okay.
And get you an idea so you can move on and not go through the complex cap rate calculations and stuff.
Hey, so Chris, where did you get your spreadsheet? Did you get it from a loan shark, or where'd you get it? Did you copy it from somebody?
This one? No, I built this one from scratch.
So you're smart on your own. Okay, got it.
I like spreadsheets. I don't.
I have to get mine from others.
Chris, did you say you have an MBA in your background?
Yeah.
Where'd you go to school?
Oregon. You're welcome.
Awesome,
Mr.
awesome.
Duck.
Yep. Degrees
Yeah.
in architecture and business from. your
Wow. Yeah, it's a great spreadsheet. And I know Chelsea asked you for it. I would love to get a
Yeah.
copy of it as well.
Yeah, I put my email in the chat. If anybody wants a copy,
Okay.
email me. I'll probably make some tweaks to it so it's a little bit more user friendly.
Yeah.
But I will.
Super cool, Chris. Thank you so much.
Sure thing.
All right. You guys, the time is up. Thank you, Zach.
Yeah, thank you, Grace.
Thank you. Thanks for showing up, not leaving me hanging high and dry.
Sorry, I've been busy.
I know you have. You guys, real estate is, no matter what's going on in the world right now, no matter what the interest rates are or whatever, there's always a way to get involved in real estate. Just saying. Okay. Chelsea, nice to see you.
Well, it was good to meet everybody. Thank you again, Grace.
Thank you, Zach.
And I look forward to this next month.
Thanks, everybody.
Wow.
Nice seeing everybody,
Yeah.
meeting everybody.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Hey, just noticed, Chris,
Thank
I
you,
like your haircut. We go to the same barber.
Talking to.
Have a good night, everybody.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Have a good night.
Good
night.
Bye,
night.
guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Chet. Thank you. Thank you.